So what more can you do? Yeah, Jakob showed that that you can get the results out. You can cover into the clipboard. You can do various things, and with all the estimates you get, you can actually take them out, put them in a spreadsheet, and process them. You can process them in what you want, of course, but spreadsheets are wonderful things for many people, and many of the potential users, facilitators here, are probably spending half their time in spreadsheets and the other half time in PowerPoint. But so a lot of people can do this, and you can present alternative views, facilitate better decisions. We're Google users, in particular, Google Sheets has a great bubble view where you can display 5 different parameters. So once you dragged all these data out, here's an example of what you can do in Google. You can here have, once you estimated value and effort, out here you have the relative return on investment. And return on investment here, looking only at the effort, would show that beef fillet, because it has a very high value, it's out here. This is the top of it, and there's risotto, there's the Swedish meatballs. They're all out here. They give great return on investments, great customer satisfaction per effort units. On the other axis, we have the uncertainty, the accumulated uncertainty, both on the effort and the value estimation. And you can see they're all pretty uncertain, apart from, of course, grilled salmon, which we know, so there's 0 uncertainty. But in this case here, there is a almost similar, the recent Swedish meatballs were high up there. This was the first estimate that we did. We were sort of playing around with the fact that, okay, we asked the Swedish, since the bride is Swedish, we asked the parents who has to pay the whole thing, and then we discovered we have to ask other people because it's international. But the Swedish meatballs, people had their doubts on. There are probably those that thinks this is not for a wedding. This is something you get for $4 in the IKEA or something like that. So, okay, you can look at effort, or you could actually look only at the cost. If I was a small restaurant owner and I don't really count my own hours, I just need to make some money here. And what really worries me is the cash I have to pay out. So the cost of actually making the menus is now held against the value. And then it's all of a sudden different things. Beer glazed chicken is now more important. Now, I don't really suggest that people will do this with a menu, right? But if with a larger project where you might have a number of interesting things you potentially could do and build into the product, then all of a sudden it becomes a major task for the product owner to get an overview. And what I'm showing you here is different angles to put on it. If the cost, the money is really the problem, you'd look at this one. Or the sort of effectively real one is, of course, when you combine effort and cost. And now you see that the glazed chicken and the beef fillet move up again, and you have this. So with this, it's all about visualization. It's all about giving a view. Oh, okay, now I see a connection I didn't see before. That's what you want. That's what you want, so that people can make better and informed decisions. So that's sort of the primary message. Another interesting thing you can do if you ask people to estimate complexity is here's complexity. We've assigned numbers to the domains, and then we have uncertainty on this effort here. So we've asked the team, and there is some uncertainty in the estimates here, represented on the lower on the x-axis. And on the y-axis, we have the complexity index. The dotted line in the middle really means this is where you would expect it to be. You would expect uncertainty to grow with complexity. But what this does is it opens up, for example, the one in the right corner, the beer glazed chicken. I would certainly ask my team, how come you have such a great uncertainty when you don't say the complexity is high? How can you say that? I mean, how does that add up? Or the crayfish perhaps, or something, and why are they having high complexity but not that much uncertainty? It opens another avenue of questioning, and potentially you can catch an outlier. So summing it up, finalizing, you can get all the data out of this estimation, and it gives you an opportunity, especially if you have a slightly larger project, to do some work on it and create new presentations, a new way of visualizing that might lead to better decisions. Yeah. I rest my case. Thanks a lot.
Just a quick comment on that, Kurt.
Yes.
In your return on investment chart, where you compare value and effort, one could ask, what do you do about the must-haves, if there are any must-haves? And of course, the answer would be that even though you can have uncertainty on how much effort there's really nothing much to discuss because it's a must-have. It's not just a matter of when you are doing it, not if you're doing it, because it's a must-have.
There is no must-haves in this one. So, but actually, if there was a must-have, it would be shown to the left of it, and so that when you prioritize, both the exciters and the must-haves are shown off the grid in a way, because they're not really numbers. You can talk about the uncertainty of effort on the must-have, and that could help you prioritize. And the same with the, but when you show them outside the grid, because numbers don't apply to them. It's irrelevant to try and put a number on a must-have, because you just have to do it. It's illegal without it, or you don't fulfill GDPR or some other requirement or compliance thing you have to do. Yeah. Any other observations on this way of displaying data, or is it just the engineer getting the better of me and poking around in spreadsheets where I rather should do something more reasonable?
I think it's a very good idea to visualize these things. I did at some point some training in structured problem analysis, and then you would usually do a matrix of some factors that you thought had very big influence on whatever you were doing, and then you would weight these. And actually, you quite often got surprised what would be the best solution when you actually took all your parameters in consideration. So the sort of quickest decision, kind of jump on over the lowest part of the fence, was definitely not often the best solution.
Right. Again, getting back to what I said in the beginning, reading Daniel McChrystal's book, this kind of thing is exactly what he says you need to do, because otherwise you won't discover the risks. You'll go your gut feeling, and not always good. Illustrate things, but that you can do it. You can do it with the tool. The thing is, nobody does it today, because just doing it manually, it's just too much effort. Although, like the Germans would say, zu viel Aufwand. It's not being done. The tool here helps you to do. Some of this is visible, as Jakob showed already, with graphs and so on, and some of it we're actually building into Agemba to make these bubble charts, which I think is really clever from Google to include in their way of being able to illustrate. So with that, I think we'll say thank you for this evening, for those who joined, and hope to see you in a couple of weeks again.